Whenever you're ready, Pam.
There it is.
Call this meeting of town board together. Who's next? Jack?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody tonight to the town board meeting. We got a standing room only crowd, so we'll go right into our first item of business. Approve the minutes of the regular meeting on November 13th, 2024.
So moved.
Motion by John, second by Brian, to approve the minutes. Any discussion? All those favors signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Town clerk's report.
Make sure that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
November 2024 town clerk's report is, let's see, marriage licenses of $77.50, clerk fees of $6.99, certified copies of $120, landfill fees and punch cards, $19,482, short-term rentals, $900, dog licensing, $524, and building permits, $359, and septic permit, $25, bringing the total local shares remitted to $21,494.49.
Okay. Supervisor's report for the month of November. Total funds on hand, $2,665,359.66. Assessor.
Assessor's report for December. The process of reviewing sales that occurred during the last sales cycle is currently underway. These are used to establish the equalization rate for the next year's assessment rolls. During the upcoming months, we will be working closely with the Office of Real Property Tax Services, utilizing the outcome of these sales to arrive at the 2025 equalization rate. This involves reviewing and analyzing the selling price compared to the assessed value at the time of the sale, plus other factors in sale conditions that may or may not have an impact on the viability of any given sale. True arm's length sales, sales between family members, neighbors, bank foreclosure sales, distress sales, estate sales, etc. This will continue for the next few months, along with reviewing and assessing new construction properties. I'd like to take this opportunity to extend my very best wishes to all of them. Merry Christmas, have a healthy New Year, and a great holiday season, respectfully, Greg Miller.
Yeah, and the places are still selling. The 200 Milton Avenue recently sold. So real estate's still moving up here. Dog control officer, the only thing I got is next month we'll talk about John. We were paying John mileage plus the salary. He'd like us to convert his mileage over to a salary, and I told him we'd talk about it after January 1st. He does a real good job. Barking dog complaints are almost nil now, so it looks like he's got some of those complaints we had recently under control, so we're doing much better with that. Justice, Rob?
Judge Fisk, he had 70 cases, $5,870 in fine, $210 in fee, $2,302 in surcharge. Judge Ferrillo, 39 cases, $1,480 in fine, $370 fee, $640 in surcharge. Total new cases for November were 99. Total received November, 10,872. Town share, 9,335.
Yeah, very, very good, busy court day today. We had a lot of people. Landfill.
Landfill, year to date, we're all up there, we're $53,270 and change to the good, and everything's fine.
Okay. Let's see, planning and zoning.
There were 1 septic and 7 land use development permits issued the month of November, and the planning board nor the zoning board will have meetings this month due to lack of applications.
You all got the code enforcement?
Yeah.
Report in there? Jacko?
Yep.
You're up.
Got it. Month of November 2024, renewed 2 short-term permits processed on new short-term permit. Sheriff removed the party camping on Jenny Hill. Left a message with the party complaining about 25 Adirondack Avenue. There's no reply. Checked if Warren County had permits for work at 100 River Street. Removed various signs from the right-of-way. Site visited Route 9 following a complaint about the condition after the tornado. Spoke with DEC and the EPA regarding the jurisdiction and blowdowns. I verified with DEC that there were no portions of that area designated as fire hazard. I followed up with a certified letter of my findings with the complaining party. Provided copies of the upcoming ban to all town board members. Sent a notice to the owner of 3886 Main Street about being used for a camping area. Sent a citation to the owner of 25 Commercial Avenue for more than one temporary structure and litter and rubbish on the property. Checked streets for winter parking midnight to 6 a.m. 40 notices were placed on vehicles. That's a lot. Sent a notice to the owner of 8 Hudson Street for garbage and litter, James Hull.
And Jimmy was out a little bit, had a new hip replaced, but he's working his way back. Highway Superintendent, busy month. Pete's been in the hospital, still in the hospital. KJ Olin has been filling in. The crews have been doing a good job. All our equipment seems to be working fine. We just have one truck that's down, and we'll be looking to purchase some equipment after the first year. So things seem to be going pretty well up there. I just ask people to be give us a little patience with cleaning the roadways, the side of the road. Sometimes we can't get out there. And Main Street, we're at the mercy of the state of New York. We have to work through them to get on Main Street, but some of the side streets, they will get to them when time permits. Of course, we had rain today. The following will be posted on the town website: beautification committee, lighting, historian, museum. We have both those reports. Parks and Rec, sewer, and water. We have nothing on youth this month. There was a nice ceremony on November 11th at Veterans Park, and Sandy gave a rendition of how the parks came to being. We received a letter from Carolyn Cryer. I guess that's Sire.
Cedar.
Sear, sorry. Carolyn Sear about the condition of Hackensack Trail. She had concerns about the trail markings, and in the springtime, we will send 2 of the most fit people we have on our payroll up there to see if we can't take care of getting these trails marked, and we'll certainly work with DEC and get some new trail markers. Received a donation from Florence LaPointe, like she does almost every Christmas, for a Christmas decoration. I sent her out a thank you. I appreciate everything Florence continues to do for the town. Old business, we ended up hiring a different appraiser because the appraiser that our first choice is no longer in business. So Sterling Commercial was the second choice, and they have come in. They have toured the property. They have all the maps of the properties that have been up there. They believe that the cost will be around less than $2,000 to appraise all that property, and they'll come back with a price, and then we'll take it from there. It'll be our next step after they come back with a pricing. So we're happy with them. They're out of Saratoga Springs. Resolution request to award the Gold Avenue Stormwater Project to Carver Construction in an amount of $184,145 with a alternate bid of $12,500 if it's necessary. Now, there was 20 contractors took the bid out, 9 returned, and Carver was the low bid, and Cedarwood went through the bid. We're happy. So I believe our next thing is we should just accept this bid. So somebody want to John make a motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second
Second by Jock. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
it. Aye.
Aye. Opposed, carried.
I'm gonna abstain on that one as well.
Okay. Okay, we have a resolution request to establish a capital project H19 for Gold Avenue Stormwater. This way will allow us, establish a capital project, we'll take it fund balance and replenish the project. So motion by John,
There we go.
second by Jack to establish the capital project, H19 for Gold Avenue Stormwater Sewer Project. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Good portion of that's gone. On update on the King Street demolition project, Jackson Demolition Services was back on the site removing 2 oil tanks. One is a 1,000-gallon waste oil tank that we really didn't know that existed, and the other one was an empty fuel oil tank. Also, I had to remove some contaminated soil around the waste oil tank. And there also are 2 septic tanks on the property that went with old trailers that were located on the property. Both of those will be pumped out and taken out of the ground. The added cost for these environmental concerns was $7,130. Anybody have any issues? I did sign for that. We had to hire an environmental engineer to go over and test it, and I believe most of that work's done.
Yep.
So, okay. And LaBella is handling that for us. Okay, next is a resolution request to accept the lowest responsible bidder, I guess it's Elastic Incorporated, in the amount of $29,912.40 for baffles for the wastewater treatment plant lagoons. We spent almost $700,000 on pumping out the lagoons this year. One thing we found that the curtains between the lagoons needed to be actually changed. We went to all this work. So Cedarwood went out and got quotes, and the $29,912.40 is the lowest quote of 3 bidders. And we will install these curtains, and they go in each lagoon. They kind of segment the lagoon, right? Tracy, you know more about it than I do.
Yeah, they separate the 2 cells in each lagoon.
The cells of each lagoon. So this will be the final thing that we have to do up there on the lagoon. So motion to accept the low price of $29,912.40. Motion by Brian, second by Robert. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. I gave you guys the information on pro housing community at the last board meeting to study whether we should do it or not. We did go do some research on it, and really we will not qualify because we didn't. We only had 14 new houses put in last 3 years. And we have 2,820 parcels, so we're not gonna come close to the percentage needed to be eligible. Maybe in the future, we can look at this and do that, but right now, I think we just need to pass on that. And that was just us passing a resolution.
Just to clarify, because you mean that you don't meet the requirements for the
Either one, I don't think.
percent? Because I thought the second one, there's not a threshold you have to meet so long as you adopt that resolution making commitments. But I mean, you can check with Flatly Reed, but that's our understanding. There's 2 options. You either meet the required percentages related to increasing housing stock.
Not senior housing growth?
Not what?
The second one says this is for communities that don't.
Correct.
Yeah.
You can still be certified by submitting your data and having the municipal governing body pass the pro-housing resolution, which I didn't see in these materials, but I've seen them in other meetings.
Oh, okay.
It's a commitment
Yeah.
that you make to be proactive in trying to encourage housing.
Why don't we table it and we'll look at it?
We can do it, but
Yes.
yeah, we'll bring it
Yes,
back.
I just
next-
wanted to make clear that I
We
think
got
if you
time.
don't hit those thresholds, there's still an avenue to get it. And I think why Flatly Reed shared it with you is for certain grants now,
It's
you're
for
not
grants,
considered unless you
Okay,
are deemed one of these communities.
Right.
all right. We'll bring it back next month.
Okay.
With things we got coming up.
I'll give you the progress on Main Street grant. It's in your packet. As Drew said, the grant's been moving a little bit slower than he had hoped. We have 35,000 left over. Identified at least 3, he has 3 properties identified potentially that he's going to ask for applications from. So we're going to let him contact 3 properties. One is Tommy Guns, the other's George Henry's and Carolyn Kruger. They had expressed an interest when they weren't in the target area. We're gonna expand the target area down there and see if one of them would want to grab some of that grant and do some work. Secondly, the Housing Trust Fund grant, CDBG grant's been going pretty well. We're approving another $58,000 going out to homes that have been rehabbed this last month or so. So it seems like it's moving along that portion of it. So we're pretty happy about that. After some wrangling with New York State Department of Transportation, we were finally got our money back for the sidewalk project.
Amen.
And the usual time is 8 weeks. I think we waited 8 months. But anyways, we got $346,686.08 back on our sidewalk grant. So we're caught up on the sidewalk grant on River Street. So I'm happy about that. And there is a phase 2 of that project, but it will take place, I guess, next summer. I was talking to Glens Falls Transportation. Of course, we're still hold up on our crosswalk. We still don't have the approval from DOT on the crosswalk for Richards Avenue. We're waiting for our engineers to answer the last 5 questions. Talking with Glens Falls Transportation, there is money for sidewalks, so we probably will be able to wrangle some money to pay for that. What we have to do to get that crosswalk in, because we do have to modify the sidewalks for ADA compliance. So I've been talking with Aaron. When we get the approval, we'll go out and hire contractors. So first thing in spring, we get that done. Then after we get that done, we'll able to pave that parking lot down there and make it look decent across from the health center. Next, I need a resolution to approve the 2025 Barks and Rec boarding and daycare for dog control grant, application. The new contract is for $2,500. It's gone up considerably. Last year it was $1,250, and that's because boarding costs and everything's gone up in the country.
So
So
moved, Kevin.
motion by John, second,
I'll second it.
second by Brian, and second by Robert. Any discussion? It's a necessary part of our job. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next I have some requests for occupancy tax. First one is for the beautification committee in the amount of $4,797.63. And this is for the farmers' expenses related to the farmers market. So a motion to approve the first occupancy tax request amount of $4,797.63.
I'll make
Motion by Brian, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jock, approve the amount of $4,797.63 for Orangeburg Beautification, Inc. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. You're opposing?
I oppose.
You're opposing, okay. I need a resolution request to consider the occupancy tax request from Orangeburg Historical Society, Orangeburg Museum, an amount of $6,588.70. And this is for advertising that did this past year, all legitimate. A motion to approve that by John. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Brian. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Oppose.
Opposed, okay. Next, I need a resolution request to set this year-end meeting. We had picked the date of December 30th at 2 p.m. Will that work for most of you?
Yep.
It should be a 15-minute meeting,
No problem.
no problem.
Okay.
Everybody all right with that?
Yep.
Okay. We'll do that. And now only do, really to pay warrant 13.
Who's first, second? Who said the resolution?
John was first.
John was first,
I was
Okay,
right?
Brian, thank you.
And I'm thinking, because we don't have any, anything to contend with as far as organizational meeting, just standard, we can, I believe we could do it on the 8th, which is that a Monday? I think No, 1, 2.
No, it's Wednesday.
The eighth, that would be your normal meeting then.
Huh?
Yes.
That would be your normal meeting.
Yeah, that would be our normal. The 8th is a Wednesday night, we'll keep it then, and we'll start at normal time, if you're all okay with that. That would be our normal, we'll go back into our normal Wednesday schedule at 7 o'clock. Because we have no swearing-ins or anything. We may swear at one another, but no swearing-ins. Okay, we'll do that. You got it, Jack?
Yep,
Okay.
I'll be here.
The town has been awarded an extra $15,000 from the county for next year, for 2025. That is going to be used on Christmas lights and more Christmas decorations for 2025. And I got the wrong amount there, I'll have to correct that, but I think we spent 4,000 some odd dollars on new lights this year. They've been better, and I think if everybody has had a chance to go up on Mark Bruce Park up there on 4th and Hudson Street, they did a remarkable job putting that in, and we got a few more plans for next year, but kudos to all those guys. They start in October putting lights in town, and they look really nice. They've done a real good job, so. And the county was gracious to allow us to get $15,000 more next year. Okay. Stop me if I'm going too fast.
No.
Okay. Getting near the end of the year, we have a bunch of budget modifications. I'll read through them. I'll do the general fund first. I'll do them all. So in the general fund, we're short in the supervisor's contractual amount by $497.14, and we're taking that out of contingency. That's for the accounting software program. And then tax collector account, we're short $71.17, and there again, we're taking money out of contingency and moving it into tax collector's account. And that's for computer programming of the Edmonds Government Tech Program. Next, we're taking $2,000 out of the equipment account in buildings and moving $2,000 over to the buildings contractual account. That's really just to cover us for the rest of the year. We're not too short on that one, but we may have electrical bill and something else coming in. So we're moving $2,000 from equipment into contractual. Next, we're taking $2,500 out of special items contingent, and we're transferring into dog control contractual, and that was to pay for the Parks and Rec contract. And this last one, I'm taking $5,000 out of sidewalks contractual. I'm moving it over to 6412 occupancy tax. We will have one more request for occupancy tax coming in from Christmas in Warrensburg, which is the beautification, which was very well attended, I must say, this past weekend. Those are your general fund ones. Now I have a couple more. We're taking $845 out of the Parks and Rec personnel services part-time, and we're moving into Parks and Rec personnel services overtime, and that's for plowing of the parking lots around and also the health center. And then last but not least, we took our employee out of the landfill and we moved him to training and sewer and water. But what we did is we kept paying him out of landfill, so we're a little bit short in our landfill account. So we were able to fill the gap for personnel services in the landfill by taking money, $2,500 from the assessor's contractual, $2,000 from the contingent account, $2,000 from the crossing guard account, $5,000 more from the contractual sidewalk account. Part-time pay and garbage, we're moving over to full pay, $500, $1,000 of drainage money, $1,000 from cemetery, for a total of $14,000. We're moving into straight pay, and that will allow us to finish the year without having to tap into the sewer and water account. Sewer and water accounts are a little bit behind, and he does share his time in all the areas. Next year, we have to straighten that out. Last but not least, we're taking $20 out of contingency account, $20.64 out of contingency account. We're transferring in employee benefits disability. That's a one-time bill. We budgeted 500 and the bill came in for 520.64. Let's see, we have one in the highway. Highway, we're recovering a little bit in the highway account. We're taking $1,000 out of bridges equipment account and $6,140 out of machinery contractual account and moving over into street maintenance contractual for a total amount of $7,140.94. That'll be the last transfer we have to make this year in the highway. And then in the water fund, my favorite, we're taking $1,298 out of part-time pay and source of supply. We're moving it over to overtime pay as source of supply. Again, those guys work overtime plowing a lot of the water well houses. We're taking $50.10 out of source of supply electrical, and we're transferring $50 in the source of supply, $50.10 in the source of supply contractual. And the contractual is short $50.10, and that will make that account balance. Last but not least, we're taking $654.05 out of transmission and distribution contractual, and we're moving into purification contractual an amount of $654.05, and we're a little bit short in the purification account. And last but not least, something that I don't think we've done since I first started here, we're taking $10,604.47 out of appropriate fund balance, and we're moving into bond anticipation interest, and that's for the EFC water grant. The EFC water grant, the WIA grant, we did borrow a little bit of that money, as I told you last month. We took the borrowed money, we're using that first. The next portion of the money will be grant funded, but we did have an interest payment in the amount of $10,604.74. Any questions? These are all end of the month. We put a lot of work in to try to balance out the account. So a motion by John,
Yes, sir.
second by Brian to do the budget modification. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. Now, Robert, you've been doing the judges' books, so we need to get together, probably, maybe we'll get together, if we're not that busy, one afternoon, we'll get together to start looking at those, the books. They've been balancing every month, right?
Yeah.
No problem, so,
Now going in Friday.
okay. Okay, warrant number 12. Tonight is $447,951.51. Motion to pay the bills on warrant number 12.
I'll make that.
Motion by Robert, second by Brian to pay the bills on warrant number 12, $447,951.51. Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any comments? Anybody wish to, don't knock yourself over getting up to the microphones, but no? I know you people can't see the crowd we have here. So, nothing? Okay, we need a short motion to go into executive session to discuss pending litigation. Somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make one.
John and Brian, any discussion? All right, we'll be going into a short executive session. Thank you all. Thank the crowd for coming. Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy New Year. All right, let's go.
Jackie.
How are you?
I put an extra 4 on that, on the Christmas lights, Pam.
Oh.
That should be $4,825.74. Just to scratch off that one extra 4. If you signed your voucher, did you? For the oxygen.
No, I didn't stick with it. I will.
Just come in tomorrow. Everything else good?
Yes, yes, great.
I had a 168 and a 60.
We got money from the state for the whole market. Got too many things, so.
Other than I have, I apparently have some chandelier downstairs.
I was gonna ask you, because they were asking about the chandelier.
You can bring it
I don't know
over.
where to put it. I'm sure you don't know where to put it.
Well, I'm thinking if,
I can get it, probably bring it upstairs.
You can bring it upstairs and put it in the corner that's closest, if you're looking at the building straight on. I think that one corner that where the farm equipment is, I don't know if you